Hey, you guys. So I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm amped. So today is my baby's birthday, and today is also my grandma's birthday. So yes, my husband and my grandma have the same birthday, right? And so it actually inspired this video. It's how to be social and still lose weight. So a lot of times we think that we have to give up every single thing in order to lose weight, and it kind of makes us miserable, right? We try to avoid certain social interactions because we don't want people questioning what you're doing. You're trying to lose weight. You're on a diet again. You can't eat this, you can't eat that. You start feeling deprived. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to lose weight and still be social. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because, yes, me and my baby, we going out to dinner today, baby. And it just made me think about, like, sometimes people put off, oh, I'm going to wait until after this. I'm going to wait until this. I'm going to wait until after the holidays. Well, guess what, you guys? There will always be a reason to celebrate. So we're in February now. Guess what? You got Valentine's Day. In March, what do you have? What? Pulaski Day, St. Patrick's Day? Is it both of them? April, Easter, May, Memorial Day, June. That's usually going to be graduations. That's when the wedding season starts. That's when barbecues come. July, 4th of July, August, another big wedding month. Look, September, Labor Day, October, Halloween, November, Thanksgiving, December, Christmas. There will always be a reason to celebrate and to be around food. So instead of just becoming a hermit, if you're not naturally a hermit, right, here are going to be some tips that will help you lose weight and still be social. So tip number one that I have for you is do not save your calories for later. So sometimes what we try to do is we think, oh, I'm just going to starve myself the whole day and then I'll just eat once I get there. Have you ever, the year that you're not cooking Thanksgiving dinner, right? You're like, well, I'm not cooking, but I know she about to lay it all out. So I'm just going to hold out to as long as I can. Then I'm just going to eat over there. Usually what ends up happening is now you've ignored your hunger cues. So now your body thinks that you're starving. So this is why when you get around food, you stuff the plate until it's pretty much stuffed. You actually need a second plate and you try to eat everything as fast as you can because you're deprived. But guess what? Because you're eating fast, you're not giving your mind enough time to process when you're actually full. So you go back for a second plate and now you have you overate. So instead of going through that actual process, I want you to eat normally. So if you get up in the morning and you make you an omelet, eat your omelet in the morning. Continue to eat throughout the day. So this way you always have food on your stomach. You're always satiated. So when you go to the event, you don't overdo it. So yes, you can still eat at the event, but guess what's going to happen? You already have food in your stomach, so you're not going to overeat. So a lot of times when you're going to like these restaurants and things like that, or even some of these family households, sometimes unfortunately, they're not going to have the best ingredients that's going to support weight loss, right? When I say that, sometimes they're going to have foods that are high in added sugar, high in added fat, or high in like white flour, right? So sometimes they're going to have these type of foods that are going to be very, very calorie dense because at the end of the day, they don't really care about your health. They just want you to enjoy the food and that it's highly addictive. So you rave and you tell everybody about it. Your health is going to be your priority. So at least this way, when you're eating throughout the day, you at least have some type of control of what you're putting into your body. And if you're feeding up or fueling up on nutrient dense foods, you're always going to be satiated. So you can still go to the event, you can still be social, but guess what? You're just going to end up eating less of that. You can always take some to go for later or anything like that, but at least at the event you can be like, well, I've already eaten today. And nobody has a problem with you saying that. If you already ate, you already ate. Look, most of these events, they start around 5 to 7 p.m. anyway, so it's natural for you to already eat anyway, okay? Tip number 2 that I have for you is to fuel up on nutrient-dense foods first. So at no point am I saying that you can't have high calorie foods or calorie dense foods, right? I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is to fuel up on nutrient dense foods. So those are going to be your lean protein. That's going to be your fruits, your veggies, your beans, your whole grains. Fuel up on those things first because they are what's going to keep you full longer, all right? And so when you start to fill up on nutrient dense foods, a lot of the times they're going to be lower in calories. So this way you're going to get full, but you're going to take in less calories. So now when it comes to those calorie dense foods, you just end up eating a little bit less of it. So let me give you an example of how sometimes we don't realize how many calories are in a food. So if you go on the Cheesecake Factory's website, right? I think their red velvet cheesecake is about 1,500 calories, and I think their traditional cheesecake is about 800 to 900 calories. Okay, that's a lot of calories for one slice All right. So some of these places are going to be very, very calorie dense. And so sometimes what I've seen people do is like, well, I'm just going to save my appetite for the sweet, the dessert, right? And so they eat the dessert. But however, what happens is because it's fueled up with sugar, your body hurries up and burns through that sugar. So now you're hungry again, and now you end up eating again, right? So you already taken in something that was very, very high in calories. It did not keep you full. So you end up getting hungry and you end up eating more calories. So instead of saving the appetite for the sweet, save the appetite for the food that's going to get you full. And then you can have the sweet. So this way you're always full, so you're not back on the hunt looking for more food. Tip number 3 that I have for you is to try to practice some mindful eating, right? So this is just about slowing down, being present in the moment, right? Engaging with other people. Take this opportunity to speak to other people, learn more about what they're doing, have an actual conversation. So this way it gives your body enough time to communicate with your mind that you're actually full. So this can actually help you be social too, right? Like if you go to the social event, you're going because you want to be around people, or maybe you're forced to be around people. Either way, you're around people. So take this time to actually talk to other people. So this way you can actually recognize when you're getting full. And then that way you can stop eating when you're full. Okay? And then the 4th tip that I have for you is to practice some self-love, right? This is why I talked about the positive affirmations, because no matter what, I hate to say this, people always gonna have something to say. They always will. We went out to breakfast the other day, and I ordered an egg white omelet with spinach, bell peppers. Look, let me tell you, this egg white omelet was banging. Do you hear me? I had some strawberries. I had my English muffin, because y'all know I like to put syrup on my English muffin. Judge me all you want to. I don't care. And somebody was like, that looks healthy. And I was like, okay, the fuck? Like, okay, like, I like it. It might look healthy to you, but it look damn tasty to me. Like, somebody will always have something to say. And this is why it's so important to feed into yourself, right? Sometimes when you start to make different changes in your life to make you better, other people start to feel intimidated because they're like, oh my God, if she getting better, that means I got to get better. And sometimes they don't want that type of change. They fear that type of change. So sometimes they're going to end up saying things because maybe they think that you're going to leave them behind. Maybe they think that you're just going to adopt this personality where you think that you're better than them. I remember when I was growing up, I used to think the skinny people were stuck up. I'm like, oh, she thinks she better than people. She thinks, like, because I was always taught that it costs money to eat healthy. So I was like, well, if you eating healthy, if you're skinny, that means you got money. That means you're rich. That means you're better than me, right? So sometimes people see their own insecurities in the actions that you're doing. So sometimes you really do have to actually pour into yourself. Make sure that you're preparing yourself for that, right? So if you know that there's somebody that's going to say something negative to you, actually try to limit your interaction with them if you think that it's going to affect you that way, right? Like if that person's comment is going to make you go off in the corner and cry, don't be around them. Right? Go be with somebody else that's going to make you smile. Be with somebody else that's going to congratulate you. Be with somebody else that wants to talk about other things other than other people, right? So those are the 4 tips that I have for you, okay? One is do not starve yourself. Don't save your calories for later. Eat regularly throughout the day. Number 2 is focus on fueling up on your nutrient-dense foods first. So at no point did I say you can't have the higher calorie items. I didn't say that, but I just want you to fuel up on the nutrient-dense foods first. So this way you're consuming less calories. That way you're also going to stay full. Tip number 3 is to make sure that you try to incorporate some mindful eating. So just taking your time to actually eat the food. So communicate with other people, engage in some conversation, allow your mind and your body enough time to process when you have become full. And tip number 4 is to feed into yourself. Practice self-love. And of course, you guys, look, I'm actually opening up my calendar this month. So if you are looking for private one-on-one coaching, feel free to send me a message.